Are you matrixed over in a situation where you're working in another department, but your manager is still in your homework? That happens to me quite a bit. And I found some tips that really help get that negotiation down to help you succeed in your matrix environment. Now, it's going to look a lot like project management. So the first thing is to negotiate the scope. What are you over there to do? What's the tasking? What does victory look like? Then, just as important, we have to negotiate the time frame. Do they want 3 months of work in 1 month? Okay, well, that's a problem. We need to know that up front. And then what's the cost? Okay, a lot of us have a standard labor rate, but maybe we need some equipment to do our job. Some computers or some testing time in a test facility. We need to negotiate the cost and the finances available. Should look a lot like project management. Scope, schedule, and cost. Now, additionally, you want to check, is there a quality metric there? Is there a certain quality they're expecting? If these three are pretty set, is there wiggle room on something that's maybe not as direct? It's worth discussing this up front, however. And then later, it's the fifth one I like is customer satisfaction. And again, a lot of this is in the PMBOK, the Program Management Body of Knowledge. That's from the Project Management Institute. You can find that at pmi.org, information about that document. But if you're matrix, it's even more important to do all this because, my situation as my own manager, I had some awareness of what I was doing, but whether or not I did a great job, good job, or mediocre job, that was exclusively in my client's opinion. And now if you're entrepreneurial, this might seem like common sense, but if you're more in a corporate organization and you have internal clients like I do, this is key. Now, another thing that you want to ask before you leave the meeting where you're discussing scope and schedule and cost, ask three things. What, at the end of the year or end of the time period, what would be an A+ performance? What's really top notch, the A+. Then, what's the B-? What's a respectable job? We're glad you're here and completed the task. And then what's the C-? What is the bare minimum that would be tolerable or acceptable? I was in some situations where, their C- was basically 50% more than I was allocated to that group. Fortunately, there was still a lot of friction there, but I wish I had gone through all of this. So some of this is hard to learn. But if you get those three things, then you can at least get a vision of what they expect, of what victory looks like. Hey, if this resonates, if you're in this situation, message me, reach out, let me know what you think, and I look forward to hearing from you. I'll also see you in the next step.